I'm Earl Shaw. I've always been taught find you a product that people cannot live without and save them money on that product. You have a recipe for success. We are North American Power, and we have already saved people millions of dollars on electricity and natural gas in 8 states up in the Northeast. And we are told that every state will deregulate by the end of 2015. So we're in front of something really huge here, guys, and that's what Warren Buffett is talking about, I believe, when he says energy deregulation will create the biggest transfer of wealth in America. All of us would agree that economy is the number one adversity in America right now. Let me tell you something. The economy will never get bad enough that you'll be calling the family together and say, look, we got to figure out, how to cut back on some things. So we're going to have the electricity disconnected. Let me tell you something. You will let your car payment go to pay the light bill. You understand? You can hide the car, but you cannot hide the electric meter. And yes, I've been there. I've hid the car before to pay the electric bill. So we got a product people cannot live without. And let me tell you something. Nobody, in my opinion, even recognizes right now just how big electricity's future is going to be. I'm talking about in the really near future. USA Today, November the 8th, next 4 years. This is right after the election. What to expect in the next 4 years. Well, here's the headlines. Reducing the nation's dependence on foreign oil. In my opinion, there's not but one thing that will have to take place to make us totally independent of foreign oil, and that would be to take all of the trucks and all of the cars off of the highways that's using gasoline and diesel and oil. Now, you can say that is crazy, that will never happen. Well, it may be closer to happening than you think. I'm going to start with this one. And all of this, guys, you can Google all of this. Google Warren Buffett buys railroads. 5 years ago, Warren Buffett bought up the 3 biggest railroads in America, we're told, for about $40 billion. Wall Street thought the man had lost his mind. And in an interview that went something like, "What are you doing?" This is what he responded with. You can move 1 ton of freight by truck 12 miles on a gallon of diesel, or you can move that same ton of freight 423 miles by rail. Cost effectiveness, guys, all you got to do, numbers don't lie. Cost effectiveness here says it all. If you're the shipper, come on. You rather pay $4, $5 for a gallon of diesel, and an 18-wheeler is real happy with 12 miles to the gallon pulling a load. You want to pay $5 for a gallon of diesel to take your 1 ton of goods 12 miles, or would you rather take that same 1 ton of goods 423 miles? So we all know the answer to that one. So 50 years from now, I'm saying there will not be a long-haul 18-wheeler on the highways. Now, there'll always be a place for trucks, don't get me wrong. Short haul, from the train station to the warehouse, from the warehouse to the store. But we just got rid of 1/2 of America's dependency on foreign oil. Now, the other half is get rid of the cars. Let me tell you something, guys. Electric cars are closer than you think. Let me read to you. This is November the 30th, USA Today headline, front page headlines. AAA says the Environmental Protection Agency and gasoline retailers should halt the sale of E15 and new ethanol gasoline blend that could damage millions of new vehicles and void core warranties. AAA, which will issue its warning today, says just 12 million, listen to this, only 12 million of the 240 million cars and trucks on the road, only 12 million of them have manufacturer's approval for E15. Remember when the signs first showed up on the pumps, everybody was real alarmed about the sign that said this gasoline may contain 10% ethanol. Well, today that one is accepted. I mean, you can't find any gasoline to buy without the sign on the pump, 10% blend. Well, 3 or 4 states have already got the may contain 15%. According to AAA, 12 million out of 240 million vehicles that can use it without damage. Come on, I'll say it again, electric cars may be closer than we think. Listen to this. BMW, Chrysler, Nissan, Toyota, and Volkswagen have said their warranties will not cover fuel-related claims caused by E15. That's major. And it goes on. Ford, Honda, Kia, Mercedes-Benz, and Volvo have said E15 use will void your warranty. Well, if there's nothing but E15 to pick from, guess what you're going to be putting in your car? Enough problems with your car caused by the new fuel. Let me tell you something. You'll be at the dealership looking at an electric car. But here's the problem there. We cannot produce enough electricity to keep the lights on in all the homes during the peak months. It's brownout and blackout in the news, 6 o'clock news, 10 o'clock news, every summer. Richest nation in the history of the world. We cannot produce enough electricity to keep the lights on. Wouldn't we be in trouble if all of us had an electric car? It means all of us are stranded. Nobody could go anywhere. Okay? There's enough wind blowing, we're told, from Canada to the Gulf of Mexico to produce more electricity in 1 year than America could use up in 10 years. That brings us back to talking about North American Power's product we call American Wind. Windmills is the future of electricity, guys. When Bill Gates said the next Bill Gates will come from energy deregulation, specifically energy that's environmentally friendly, windmills is the answer. We're in front of the biggest thing to ever happen in the history of the United States of America, energy deregulation, and especially clean, green energy that produces energy, puts no pollution in the air. I'm going to call this ground floor. To be able to be in front of all of this at this time, and you can start you a business and cash in on this with North American Power. 2012 Company of the Year, CEO of the company, 2012 Businessman of the Year, Forbes magazine calling us one of the most promising companies in America. Come join us, go to work with us, we'll go to work for you. You're in business for yourself but not by yourself. Looking forward to talking with you and going to work with you. Thanks and God bless.